Hey guys, so this is not gonna be a typical video. I'm not gonna be showing you any makeup stuff or anything like that, though I prepared myself. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about work. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about work, and I'm just gonna compare my last two jobs, although I'm still working in one of them. I just want to tell you, especially to those, to some people who are about to work in those two jobs, I just want to give you a heads up and what to expect and stuff like that. So the two jobs that I'm talking about, obviously they're in the title, duh! It's KOHL'S and Toys R Us. Well, Toys R Us is my second job because my first job was Winn-Dixie, and Winn-Dixie is horrible. I'm not even gonna talk about it because I'm gonna spend probably an hour just by talking about what's horrible about it and what's not. Anyway, okay, so my second job is at Toys R Us, and I'm a team member. Well, basically I'm a cashier there, but sometimes I'm like a merchandiser, but that's very rare. And I had that job last September 28th, I think it's 26th, if I'm not mistaken. And it was last year, 2014. And I like that job a lot because personally, it's because of me. I personally love kids and I like being around them. And at Toys R Us, I see a lot of kids and they're just so freaking cute. That's what makes up for it. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you right now, I had a lot of terrible experiences at Toys R Us. But the kids are just when I see them, I forget all of those horrible experiences, and I just wanted to keep that job because it's because of the kids. And it's 2.2 miles away from my house. So, and you guys know that I don't have a car, so sometimes I ride my bike, sometimes I ride the bus, and sometimes I take the cab. But usually now I take the cab because I work at nights, but we'll get there. But I worked there, and my first 2 weeks, it was a pretty cool job. It was pretty exhausting for me though, because I know that we shouldn't get a lot of breaks though, because I don't really get a break because my shift there is usually 4-hour shifts. That's before Christmas though, and I never get a break. And for me, not having a car, I was really exhausted every single time because I have to for example, ride my bike. And then there's this one time I just wanted to try and walk from the house to Toys R Us, and it was a 34-minute walk. It was not bad, but it was my first week at the job, so I was pretty excited, so I didn't really think about it that much. And about the managers, I like two managers. I liked Jennifer and Stephanie. They're pretty cool and they're pretty towners, but the other ones Kabir and you know, they're the managers and they're the sub managers. I don't know what to call them honestly, but the sub managers are the ones who act like they're all that, you know what I mean. And they have these little cliques, which I really hate, because come on, you freaking work at Toys R Us, you freaking work on the customer service desk. That doesn't make you the freaking secretary of the freaking White House. Let's get real here. Their attitude is just the worst attitude human being can ever... Oh, I don't even want to talk about... I don't want to talk bad about other people, but I'm just telling you my experience and stuff. They didn't do anything bad at me. Well, not directly, but it's just their attitude towards the new people. They're oh, you don't know that? Oh, blah blah blah. And the way they look at you, they're looking down on you. Come on, we are both in the retail business here. We have to start somewhere. And if you want to act all that, why don't you go somewhere else, somewhere better? Why are you working here? Let's get real here. Anyway, and I was minimum wage, which was horrible. Well, I'm still minimum wage right now, but I love my job right now, but we'll get there. There is really no employee engagement kind of thing, because they're really about getting credit cards and rewards cards and the protection plans and stuff. And then we have this tally sheet that we need to write down how many credits, how many donations we got, how many reward cards we got, and they basically, because I was hired as a seasonal team member, they base on that little paper, that the metrics paper, whether you get to keep your job or not. So I was doing pretty well, especially with the rewards card and the donations. So I mean, I was average. I had average numbers, but I always got like $30 or more with the donations, and I thought that was pretty good. And they are very competitive about the credits. I mean, they're not like those who get upset about you not having the credit, but it's just that if you want to keep the job, you better do good. I heard about a drama during the Black Friday thingy, and unfortunately I wasn't there because I was working at KOHL'S that time, so I didn't get to see the drama. But when I was working there, everything was going pretty normal. They don't really like, my job ends at around 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, and they don't really let us, especially when you're closing, they don't really let us like get out on time. Like, I had to ask what if I can like go home or not, and this guy, what's his name? Forgot his name, Adam, like he's the one I asked. He's like one of the sub managers. Sometimes he's okay, sometimes he's not. I mean, it's really weird. Like, we have this love-hate relationship. Sometimes he messes with me, and sometimes I feel like he just hates me. It's so weird. And like, I would always ask him, and he's like, well, I gotta ask someone if you still need to do something. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm like, I was supposed to be out of here 15 minutes ago. And mind you, they know that I ride my bike, and it's so freaking dangerous to ride my bike at night. I'm just saying. Anyway, so I always come home late, like around 12 and something like that. I left that job December 28th because mainly because I can't keep both jobs because the times are like overlapping, and I don't want to lose my social life. I don't want to like lose my focus on my studies, because when I had 2 jobs at the same time, like last semester, I just had like 1 A and 3 B's. Like, are you freaking kidding me? That was like my worst semester, and I was like, I promised myself that I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm just gonna keep 1 job and focus on my studies. I had like homeworks last weekend and I didn't do them, but it's a great start. So I left that job, and the thing about Toys R Us was like they hired a lot of seasonal team member people, and that caused us to just lose a lot of hours. I mean, I know I'm one of those new people, but I'm like part of like the first round of people that got hired for this season. So there was a lot of times. The reason why I looked for a second job is because at Toys R Us I would have like just 10 hours per 2 weeks, and that's horrible. Like, who can live with 10 hours per 2 weeks? I mean, I still get money from my dad and all, but come on, like, I get bored at home, and like I want to shop but I can't because I don't have extra money. Like, I can't do this. So this story goes on to KOHL'S, because I applied to KOHL'S at Snag a Job, and I got the job on November 2nd. It was pretty cool because they promised me like at least 15 hours every week, and like Toys R Us, I was getting like 10 hours every 2 weeks, which was horrible. I started working at KOHL'S and it was pretty cool. They were like very business-like, you know what I mean? Like we had to wear like business casual attire, and customer service desk was like pretty awesome. It was like the reception for a dental clinic, and the store looked very nice, and the managers are awesome. They're very cool and welcoming, and we even took pictures like for the new hire board. You cannot see that at freaking Toys R Us, I'm just saying. And it was pretty cool. I got paid like 2 cents. It's just 2 cents higher at KOHL'S. But the thing is, I got more hours. I got at least 15 hours each week. And I was also hired as seasonal, and I was hired as an MJM, that's Mrs. Juniors and Men's, and I'm basically a merchandiser, and I'm on the sales floor a lot. But there are times and there are days when my shifts are for like POS, point of sales, which is like a cashier too. And it's the same as Toys R Us. Like, we had to like solicit people for credit cards and rewards cards, and I'm doing really well with the credit cards. Like, like for an MJM who's not supposed to be on the register, I got like more credit cards than other people on the register. Like, I think that was good. During the season, they gave us like free food each Friday. It was so amazing. And then I worked overnights at Kohl's during Christmas week. I worked from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. and then they gave us like a box of chocolates after that week just because we worked overnight, and I was so happy there was dark chocolate in it. And also we got paid like $1 more because we worked overnight, and I thought that was amazing. And during New Year, we got paid time and a half. Like for example, you worked 6 hours, they pay you additional 3 hours. And then if you worked 8 hours, they pay you additional 4 hours. And I thought that was amazing. Like Kohl's is really doing well with like taking care of their employees, not just customers but employees too. And we get 15% discount at Kohl's, and I only get like 10% discount at Toys R Us. At freaking Winn-Dixie, I got 5% discount. Like, what am I gonna do with 5% discount? Anyway, we're not talking about Winn-Dixie right now. I basically gave up my holiday and the plane ticket that my boyfriend got me for Christmas. I really wanted to keep my job at Kohl's, and I was like, I'm just gonna stay here and work, and I did. I stayed. I think first week of January the manager asked me if I wanted to stay like permanently, and I'm like, heck yes. So I got the job, but I got the job at Kohl's and I quit my job at Toys R Us. I don't know if this video is insightful at all. Like, I'm just blabbering and stuff, like, forgive me. But anyway, yeah, I think Kohl's is really great. Like, I've been seeing videos